To fight. I'm your host, Manny, and today we're getting into a discussion about and a question: why are people losing their minds nowadays, 2024, especially in America? I personally think there's multiple reasons, but just recently in California, there was a guy who was just like randomly popping off shots at random cars just on the street. He ended up unaliving a father of four who's just minding his own business. Can you imagine that? Just randomly, you're just doing your day to day, and then you're getting shots popped off at you for no reason at all. So what's going on? What's going on with people? Why are they losing their minds? Look at this.
A man accused of randomly shooting and killing a driver at a San Jacinto intersection was charged with murder and other offenses today. 39-year-old Julio Rodarte is also charged with 6 counts of attempted murder in connection with the attack at West 7th Street and South San Jacinto Avenue. A surveillance camera caught Rodarte shooting at passing cars. 2 of the drivers were hit. 42-year-old Victor Hugo Leon was killed. The other driver is recovering this afternoon. Investigators are still looking into a motive for the deadly shooting.
2 people have been.
This right here, that's the most disgusting thing that I've seen in a long time. Dude could have hit kids, could have hit women. He just didn't care. So what's going on? Is it because of the migrants we're letting in randomly? Is it because of people aren't exercising enough? When we take a look at the dude who's popping the shots, he wasn't in shape. I guarantee you, if that dude went to a martial arts gym and that was part of his regular routine, that would never happen. I think what's going on, people aren't getting enough physical activity. People are eating the wrong foods, and people are mentally ill. They're antisocial. They don't have a community around them, and they do weird stuff like this. This type of stuff has been on the incline. You know, people just doing weird, random, crazy stuff. You know, that's insane. I think there's definitely a big mental health issue going on in America, as we see with, people just not acknowledging reality. I don't think it's a gun issue, because if you go to certain places in America, like let's say, for example, Missouri, right? You don't really see this type of behavior as much. If you're in somewhere like St. Louis, there might be gang activity, there might be drugs, there might be whatever, but just these random attacks, just random, people running around naked, stuff like that. That's more of a California thing. It's more of a New York thing, So what's going on? Why is this happening? I think if everybody did martial arts, if everybody learned how to fight, they would have the confidence in themselves. They'd have a environment of strong people around them. They would never even think to do something crazy like that. They don't know what the dude's motives is. I don't care what the dude's motives is. You don't just go and just pop off shots at random people for no reason, just living their life, And I feel for that father, for his family, the kids are gonna grow up like just some random dude just shot off at their dad, killed them. You know what I'm saying? So what would I do in that scenario? There's really nothing you can do in that scenario because it's so random. I mean, I guess you could try to hit the dude with your car. I don't know. You're just going to go get your coffee, going to go pick up your kid, whatever, and then someone's shooting shots at you randomly. Yeah, that's just the most craziest video that I've ever seen. And I hope that dude gets like the death penalty. I hope that dude gets the worst of the worst that he can get, because, and I don't really care if he's mentally ill either. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. The dude knows the difference between right or wrong. But I'm very curious to see why he would do something like that. People who do stuff like this, they hate their lives, and that's why I think since the community has become less and less and people have become more antisocial, back in the day, it's not about the guns, because back in the day, you didn't really see stuff like this, right? People still had guns. So back in the day, people had more respect because they were more involved in their community. I think if you don't have that human connection, you don't have some type of community you're attached to, like a martial arts community, like a club, whatever, just a place where you're getting that human interaction and you're building friendships. If you don't have that, that's when things go left. People aren't meant to just be alone on themselves for too long. You know, that's why this guy hates life. Maybe he just wanted to go to prison. I don't know his background. Maybe he just couldn't handle it in the world. But if that's the case, do it to yourself. Why are you out here shooting random people? It's disgusting. There's just more and more stories coming out of people doing crazy things. There was a story in California a few months ago in San Diego of a homeless man. Like, someone got hit on the train tracks, and this homeless man found the dude and was eating his leg. Real story, true story. So there's definitely a mental health issue, mental health problems going on in America right now. And specifically, I mean, I'm in California, so you hear crazy stories in California. You ride around some certain areas in California, you see a shit ton of homeless people, people talking themselves on drugs, whatever. I think there's a big plot to make the average person weak, an average person weak, docile, antisocial, and dumb. Because to do something like that, with the first guy to just shoot off into just random indiscriminate cars. You guys ever seen the movie Scarface? Even the most ruthless gangsters have a code. You know what I'm saying? They have a code. You don't kill women, children, and you don't kill just innocent people, random people, right? So this dude's soft. Anybody could do something like that, but that's disgusting. It's unhonorable, and you're a weak person. You know what I'm saying? So Scarface, what set Tony over the edge when dude wanted to blow up innocent women and children? He's like, hey, I'm not no scumbag like you. You know what I'm saying? And these dudes are the most ruthless gangsters around, right? How many people did Scarface kill? You know what I'm saying? How many people did Tony Montana kill off? But he drew the line when it came to women, children, innocent people. Even Tony Montana drew the line on that, right? So it's like these people are mentally ill, and it's not normal. It's antisocial behavior. And I think the way that we can make all this type of stuff stop is just by implementing more martial arts programs, stuff like this. Let's say, for example, a school shooter, right? If that school shooter went to a martial arts academy and was getting beat up and beating people up, learning how to fight, learning a skill, that school shooter doesn't shoot up the school, guaranteed. All these issues come down to just a lack of human connection and a lack of intelligence, but a lack of emotional intelligence, because they're antisocial and they just don't really connect with people. They don't connect with humans. So I think that's why everybody needs to learn how to fight. So they have more confidence in themselves. They go through struggles daily, and that builds their mind. If you see all martial artists, like fighters, stuff like this, you'll very rarely see fighters and martial artists, head of academy, stuff like this, being weirdos. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare. You go to any martial arts academy, a lot of these guys are nerds. They can kill you with their bare hands, and they're super cool, super respectful. Because in martial arts, you learn that, you have to respect everybody regardless, and you build up connections through a community. And that's really what's lacking. It's really what's lacking and breaking down our society. If everybody knew how to fight, if everybody learned how to fight from different people, martial arts academies, it would literally change society. That's what I truly believe. So that's just my 2 cents. You know, there's definitely something going on when it comes to the state of people's mental health, and I want to know